Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. Welcome to everybody. This video is going to be a pick a group tarot reading. I'll talk about how to pick your group very soon, but I just want to introduce today's reading to you. So it is a love reading. It's intended for romantic connections. You could, if you really wanted to, apply this to a platonic connection, but I'm going to channel the messages with the intention of it being about a romantic connection. With that integrity disclosure out of the way, I do want to introduce the video. So we're asking Spirit, is it lust or love? Love or lust? I don't know how I'm going to title it properly, but this idea came to me because it's not something I think I've done before, so should be interesting. And we're going to be getting perspectives from you, the viewer, the other person in this connection, and Spirit to help understand what is this connection. Is it love or is it lust? Now, a little bit more of a integrity disclosure, I guess. As your reader in this video, I am going to be approaching this reading with the idea that the word love implies a deeper connection with deep emotions on both sides. The word lust will mean there is an attraction there. There are some feelings there, but it's not a deep feeling on both sides. And I can appreciate that it's going to be complicated. That's why instead of just answering the question, we're going to get those three perspectives from you, the viewer. Is it love or lust? From the other person, is it love or lust? And from Spirit. Spirit's perspective is really there objectively to give us a bigger point of view of the connection and to better understand some of the themes that you may witness, but when you're so close, when it's happening to you, it may be hard to put all the pieces together. So this reading is intended to put all the pieces together, and it is recommended that you come to this reading with a specific person in mind. Make sure that you think about this person when you're selecting a group, and make sure you also think about the connection. So you don't have to just think about them, but think about the connection. This reading is intended to give you clarity, to confirm what you already know, and to give you a clear sense of what is happening so that you can leave feeling empowered with information. So I'm going to deliver it with love. I'm not going to try to make you feel bad for whatever journey you're on or whatever choices you've made. We're here to give you clarity and to help you feel empowered with that clarity. Now, there will be an extended reading. The extended readings are a great way of supporting what I do here and, well, extending your reading. I was going to make it sound better, but that's literally what it is. So if the first part of your reading here on YouTube resonates, the extended reading will be looking at what are they hiding from you, specifically their thoughts and feelings. We're not here to, what's the word? Insinuate negative things. We're just going to be looking at what haven't they told you? What haven't they expressed when it comes to their thoughts and feelings about you, about the connection in general? These will be thoughts and feelings that they've probably wanted to say or that they're hiding for a specific reason. So depending on how it feels, I'll explain what I'm picking up. If they're hiding it intentionally, we'll have a look at why. And if they haven't told you yet, we'll have a look at, well, when do they plan on telling you? That kind of thing. So that's the extended. Here are the tarot decks that I'll be using on YouTube today. I'm very excited to get back into these decks. One of them is very old. My Rider-Waite deck is literally the first tarot deck I've ever had. And it's one of the only decks that I'm a bit superstitious about. I don't want to throw out the box. I've literally just taped it up for now, and it's still an important part of my collection. We'll also be using 2 oracle decks by Kim Krantz and a backup tarot deck to clarify anything if it's confusing. With that being said, let me introduce you to the groups. Now, to access your reading, you will need to pick a group. It is important that you are patient, that you use whatever method feels right for you, and that you select a group with the topic of today's reading in mind and your connection in mind. You can give yourself as much time as you want, pause, replay, use the timestamps to navigate if you need to. The 3 groups that I chose today are butterflies. So you have to select a butterfly in order to select your group. These butterflies are a part of my home. I have a hallway in my home called the Fairy Hallway, and these butterflies are very special to me, and I guess in that they make me feel like my most young, happy, joyful inner child version of myself. So I wanted to bring that light-hearted energy to this reading by including these butterflies. This is going to be the butterfly for group 1. And I've tried to include context of where the butterfly is in case anything in that video resonates. If you feel drawn towards that butterfly, you will be a part of group 1's reading. This is going to be the butterfly for group 2. Once again, pay attention to everything in the video. If anything stands out for any reason, you'll be a part of group 2's reading. And this is going to be the butterfly for group 3. Be patient. Pause if you need to. And here are the 3 groups side by side, the 3 different butterflies for group 1, 2, and 3. When you know which of these 3 groups you're feeling most drawn to, check the timestamps in the description box or the pinned comment and join me in your reading. To open your meditation, I'm going to ask you to take in 3 deep, mindful breaths. I want you to breathe in for 3 seconds and breathe out for 3 seconds. I will be guiding you through this. Make sure you're comfortable. Focus on the sound of my voice, and let's begin. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, 3. Last breath. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, 3. From this relaxed place, observe the groups in your mind. It can help if your eyes are closed. Is there a specific color you feel most drawn to right now? Perhaps it was a phrase I spoke about in the intro. Allow your relaxed mind to guide you to a group you are being most drawn to. Remember, your intuition is not a loud voice, but it is a strong voice, and it knows which of these groups contains the most honest messages for you. Allow it to guide you through symbols, colors, objects, and phrases that will connect you with the group that holds the most clear, honest messages for you. If you need more time, pause the video or repeat this meditation. Hi group 1 and welcome to your reading. If you recognize the butterfly at the start of your reading, you're in the right place. Holy smokes, I just realized my sage has been burning this whole time and the room is so smoky. I might have to open the window. We'll see how we go. But enough from me. How are you, group 1? I want to take a moment to connect to your energy, to witness you, and to simply say thank you for being here, for supporting my journey, and for letting me be a part of your journey in any way. I appreciate you, and I hope you're having a beautiful day whenever you see this. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself and for seeking your truth in any way that you do, whether it's through these readings or simply by pushing through your challenges to seek the better outcome. I'm very, very proud of you. Now, might get too emotional if I keep going, so we're going to stop. But here's what we're covering. I do have this information typed out in the description box. This is what we're covering on YouTube. And this is what we're covering in the extended, which I'll talk more about at the end. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water before I open your reading. Well, it's actually tea, but it's hydrating, is the point I was making. Make sure you have a hydration source handy. And before I go on, to open your reading, I like to tune into your energy. I like to take a moment to just state my intentions, connect with source, and connect with my ancestors, which is something I've been doing off camera, but I might do that more on camera. And I highly recommend you do the same, in that make sure that you're just focusing on this reading. If you have any questions, if there's any specific clarity that you're seeking, write it down, say it out loud, think it in your brain. And let's tune in to the energy in this reading with the intention of getting the most helpful messages for you, the viewer. So I'm going to go ahead and have a sip, and then we're going to do that. Oh, okay. Spirit, please tune me in to Group 1's energy. Please help me offer Group 1 the most clear, honest messages for their reading today. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, please help me find the answers that I need for those that I'm reading for today. Please show me the answers clearly. Help the answers come through with confidence. And please guide me to channel the messages with confidence. In this reading, I hope to offer Group 1 the most clear, honest messages as possible about the connection with the person on their mind. Come through clearly to help me do that. Thank you. Okay, with that spiel out of the way, let's get into it. Is it love or is it lust? The connection on your mind. Let's have a look. Spirit, tuning into my viewer's energy. What is their energy towards this person? What is my viewer's energy towards this person, Spirit? All right. What is the energy, my viewer? Okay, so you, the viewer, are being shown as the temple, which is the number 39, and it is reversed. What is their person's energy towards them? What is their person's energy towards them, Spirit? Okay, so your person is showing up as the judge. Can we get a card from Spirit? Spirit, is it love or lust? What is the energy of this connection? All right. Wow. The back of the deck, we have the venom. Very interesting start to your reading. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the back of the deck. That was the card that came out for Spirit. As soon as I said it, yeah, it just felt wrong. So that's Spirit's card. At the back of the deck is the shaman. So overall, this connection is one that has definitely taken both of you for a bit of a ride in terms of it's challenged your instincts, your experience, your wisdom. It's the type of connection that makes you feel at times foolish, silly, naive, childish, or even just completely in the dark, confused, uncertain. It could feel like a little bit of a roller coaster in terms of 1 minute you're just, having profound experiences with this person or about this connection. And the next minute it feels like you don't know what to make sense of anything in this connection or about this person. So the shaman reverse says that the energy in this connection is, to say the least, confusing. And it's also hard to explain to other people. It's hard to get advice about this connection. It feels like there's lots of little details that make it extra complicated. And it also feels like it's the kind of connection that really challenges logic. It defies logic or reason. If you were to state the bare facts and it wasn't your personal circumstance, you would probably feel like you would be acting very different. Like the advice that you would give yourself is different to what you actually choose to do. With that being said, the shaman card reversed indicates that this connection can feel very isolating. Because you can't open up to a lot of people, it could feel like when you want to share things, even good things about this person, about this connection, you're not getting that level of support or connection from your other, I don't want to say like just friends, but other relationships, other platonic relationships. So for the most part, it does feel like a very confusing connection in that way. And it also feels like one that can be isolating, that can, again, challenge logic, reason, and really turn you on your head. The number 16 could be significant here. Also the number 3 or 3 skulls, maybe candles is what came through, like candles in the shape of skulls. And like little gold coins or trinkets in the shape of coins could also be coming through as significant confirmation that this is your group. This beautiful snake is stealing the show for me. The colors are very, very beautiful, but also it's the way that the snake is like looking at us. It doesn't look like it's going to attack. If anything, it looks like it's almost encouraging us to step forward or to follow it. It kind of feels inviting, which is interesting from a snake's perspective. A lot of people are instinctively afraid of snakes, and yet this snake feels very helpful. Now, snakes can represent Kundalini as well, and the idea of having your chakras in alignment. With that card reversed, I feel like I'm talking to a person who knows the most. Like you are very aware of what's going on in this connection. You are incredibly tuned in to the facts. And I think that this reading should only really serve as confirmation. I don't know if I will be able to divinate anything that you don't already know logically or intuitively, but I hope that this reading serves as confirmation that you're not crazy, that this is what's happening, and that this is what you need to do moving forward for your best interest. So I can tell with that snake showing up that you have a lot of clarity, but for some reason you're doubting yourself and you're questioning whether or not you should trust yourself in this process, because it's been so hard to trust other people or to even trust this person. And you may feel like even when you ask Spirit, Source, God, your angels for confirmation, it could feel like the confirmation is very conflicting. 1 minute it's this, 1 minute it's that. So I would encourage you, I really appreciate you for being here, but you do need to start trusting yourself more. and you need to stop giving people like me so much power over your life, the choices that you make, and the clarity that you have. I hope to only be here to confirm what you already know, and I hope that by doing so, I can empower you to stick to your truth. So I'm going to have a quick sip and let's continue. Alrighty, so you are showing up as somebody whose energy towards this person and this connection is unsettled, unresolved, and unclear. This temple card for me represents some form of meditation, prayer, rest, stillness. And even though we are in that state, seeking truth and knowledge, we're also in that state knowing enough about ourselves and the way that we connect to our truth and knowledge to trust that when we see or get the right answers, we will know that we have them. So this card being reversed confirms that you have been receiving the right answers, but the way that you've been processing things and the way that you've gone back and double checked things and scoured for information from so many different sources, and we all tell the truth differently. You know, I can be completely on a lie detector test telling you exactly what I think and feel and intuitively see, but it's still going to be different to how another reader does it and another reader. So by getting so many different readers' perspectives, you've been able to pick up different information from all of us, but then you've fixated on that different information instead of looking at the similarities and discerning how that fits into your story. So I think with the temple reversed, your energy towards this connection is hopeful that you've missed something, hopeful that it can be healed, fixed, repaired, and hopeful that this person is going to be able to just sort of clarify things if they haven't already. And I also think that part of you is hopeful that you're right, but you're also hopeful that you're wrong, because you seem to have a lot of compassion in this situation. And I think maybe you don't even like admitting to yourself how strong some of your feelings are about this connection. We're going to have a look at love or lust soon, but this is just your energy towards this connection and this person. So looking at their energy, the judge is very different. We have you over here who's opened up your horizon in that you're allowing all information to come towards you. You're allowing everything because you want to see everything, and then you want to interpret it in your own way. In that way, your energy could be described as a kaleidoscope of color, a rainbow of light, in that you're getting all different sources, all different, and through all this color, you're interpreting it your own way, and at times you're fixating on things and making them more meaningful than they are. Whereas this person is coming through as very black and white. It is what it is to them. They're not scouring for additional facts and information. They're not seeking the truth beneath the truth. They're looking for the surface level facts. They're looking for what's right, what's wrong. Is it this or that? Is it black? Is it white? They're looking for contrast. They're looking for clear facts. And their energy towards this connection could even feel a little bit cruel at times because of that. You may be trying to hide how much you're feeling and how much you want to know certain things because you're not getting that same energy from them. And so either you're overcompensating or they are, because you're not giving off the same energy at this stage. They're coming across as a little bit almost avoidant, cold, but very objective. They think that they are being fair, objective, balanced, They think that they're looking at the whole picture and they're being considerate of everything. And their energy towards you feels quite serious. Maybe not always stoic, because this energy can also be very charming when it wants to be. But the point is, it feels almost removed, congenial, like it's just trying to be polite, considerate, not devoted. So there could be a lot going on here that hasn't come through yet, which helps explain why the two of you are so different in your energies towards this connection. And it can also explain why, for someone that's seeking so much information, this has been an incredibly confusing process, because this person's energy is very balanced. They're not wanting to go too far into a rabbit hole here. They're not wanting to delve into the depths of their heart based on this energy. And they're also not wanting to disturb the peace. They feel that this connection is balanced and peaceful because they have chosen to take an objective, somewhat removed position. So let's have a look at Spirit now. Whew. Spirit's energy is the venom. It's reversed. Spirit's indicating that this connection needs healing ASAP, but the poison hasn't been taken out yet. There is still actions, intentions, and energy going into this connection that is harmful, and it's creating unfavorable outcomes that are not for your best interest, not in line with your highest good. The energy of this connection has become somewhat toxic, for lack of a better word, because it's created pain where there shouldn't be any. And instead of being able to heal, we have to remove the venom, we have to stop the bite, and we have to ensure that the pain is going to be able to stop because we've removed what's causing the pain. But until then, it feels like whatever's causing the pain is still happening. Now, the pain could be nothing compared to what you've been through before, or it could feel like you've gotten so used to it because it's been such a long time now, but it is there. Some semblance of pain is limiting your ability to, first off, heal, second off, thrive. So Spirit's point of view is, it's time. Take the fangs out of your skin. Make sure we're flushing that poison out of your system, and let's start healing. So we are going to come back to that. We're going to have a look at what is this poison. But for now, let's put those cards up there. And let's have a look at, is it love or lust from your perspectives? Looking at you, my viewer, Spirit, is it love or lust? Is this connection love or lust from the viewer's perspective? Is this connection, love or lust from the viewer's perspective? We have the owl and we have the unicorn. Okay. Is it love or lust from the other person's perspective, Spirit? Okay. We have the fire ant and the mouse, but the otter was reversed at the back of the deck as well. And from Spirit's point of view, is this love or lust? Earthworm. Wow. Let me just lift my head and see if we're all in frame. Oh, wow. Crece. I mean, there we go. That's probably a bit more even, but that's about as even as I can get it. I feel like there's a lot to unpack here. The oracle cards can take us for a ride sometimes, so I'm trying not to make it that deep, you know what I mean, so that we can just focus on the truth. But I think that you're just that type of connection. It's not going to be helpful if we just miss a couple of stops. We have to we can't take the express train, is what I'm trying to say in this reading. We have to kind of make some stops so that it all comes together. I want to start with spirit. The earthworm is really interesting. Now, full disclosure, I've lost my guidebook for this deck. I went to Europe last year and I took it with me. I took the deck with me. I took the guidebook with me. I unpacked everything, but I've misplaced the guidebook. It's in one of the cupboards in this house, and so much has happened since then. Haven't gotten around to finding it. So I'm going to intuitively read this deck based off of what I can remember when I did scour through the guidebook, but also just based off of the intuitive feeling that I have. So I hope that's enough. You're welcome to have a look at these cards in terms of their definitions by the author as well, if you want to. Kim Kranz is the author, and it's the Animal Spirit deck. Now, the earthworm makes me think that Spirit's saying this connection is one that is supposed to help you become more. It's supposed to ground you. It's supposed to humble you. It's supposed to almost reduce you into a kind of like a really rich stock of what you are. Let's just use this analogy so that I can help describe what I'm feeling. But imagine we're making some sort of beautiful bone broth. And instead of drinking it today, what we want to do is we want to make a really rich stock so that we can freeze it in little capsules and then reheat it and add more water to it later and drink it as soup. So what we're doing here, and what this connection is doing to you, is it's really all the ingredients were added, and then a lot of water was added, and the water diluted everything. The water meant that we were feeling certain things, but we couldn't really pinpoint, like, is that carrot? Is it rosemary? Is this love? You know, are they interested in me? So there was a bit of confusion in the beginning, but there was potential. Throughout the process of this connection, Spirit's saying that this connection has been boiling. And it's not to imply pressure, although there could have been pressure. It's to imply that the water has been evaporating and the core ingredients are starting to become more obvious. The core issues, the core challenges, the core feelings that you have, the core reasons. And the more that it boils, the more concentrated it all becomes. But the thing is, this connection was always supposed to be a stepping stone, just like the earthworm. It was supposed to be important, 100%. The earthworm is an incredibly important part of, first of all, our ecosystem. Second of all, this deck. It resembles grounding yourself into the most humble, fundamental person that you could be, version of yourself that you could be. And sometimes that means that you have to lose the distractions. You have to lose the things that you thought you really wanted so that you can see what you really need. So Spirit is indicating that this connection is supposed to show you what you really need by taking things that you thought you wanted, by stripping away your ego, your attachments, your desire-based ideals, so that you can see the type of person that you are, the nature that you have, and whether or not this is actually something that is best for you. With the earthworm here, this connection feels like something that was never quite reciprocated. One of you was always going to feel more, although both of you could feel connection. Can I be clear? Both of you feel a connection. You just have different ways of interpreting that. And so for both of you, this connection was supposed to ground you, humble you, strip away the things that you thought you wanted so that you could both see what you really need. It's not a straightforward answer from spirit, but it may help clarify some of the things that you've experienced, that you already know, and that you're trying to process. So let's have a look at each of you now. Is it love or lust? From your perspective, this is a unicorn. It's no doubt in your mind that this person is special, that they're unique. Now, the level of feeling could vary depending on which one of you group one people I'm talking to. Because the owl came out first, with the otter card as well. Actually, that wasn't you, that was them. It's still here. After all that shuffling, it's at the back of the deck. And it just makes me think that this connection had a really playful side to it at one point. It had a really strong sense of bonding at one point. Like you and this person had a strong connection at one point. As it stands today, it's not as strong as it was. It's not as close. You're not as close to each other. You're not as bonded. But you, my viewer, have interpreted whatever's happened in the past with your intelligence, your wisdom, your instincts, your experience. You've interpreted this connection as something very unique to you, very special to you, and with the unicorn here, rare and hard to find. Now, the unicorn card is a spirit card in this oracle deck. They indicate pivotal moments in our journeys. They indicate divine feelings, experiences, and in an archetypes, well, this isn't really archetypes, in a oracle deck, the spirit animals kind of blur the lines between real and mythological because they represent those things, those feelings, those moments, those experiences, those connections that are hard to define with words. So that's why I struggle a little bit. With that being said, the unicorn resembles a very rare feeling, a very rare person in your perspective, the viewer. The owl is your ability to try to find as much information as you can. The owl's vision is incredibly, what's the word I'm trying to use? Developed. They have immaculate vision. They're really intelligent, and they use what they see and hear to create images of the world that we can't even begin to fathom. So that's what I feel you've been doing with this feeling of this is a unique connection. It's not just lust to you. It is not just lust. Is it love? It's hard to answer that because I don't think some of you have embraced that, but I would argue that based on the importance you're giving this person over your life, over the experiences that you've had with them, it feels like it could be love. It feels like it could be love. I think what's missing is more evidence with the owl being here. You might already know that you have it in you to love this person deeply, but what you don't know is, do they have it in them to love you deeply? And that's what's missing. That's why you're not sure. Is it love? I don't know. I could love them, but could they love me? With this person's energy, we're looking at someone who is very attracted to you. The fire ant, I'm pretty sure that's when the otter came out. You can correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure when I shuffled the fire ant, the otter was like popped up for a second, and then the mouse card flipped. So I took the flipped card because it had the strongest connection, and it makes a lot of sense, to be honest. I'm glad we settled on the mouse because the mouse is here tentatively with an earthly energy of at times feeling timid and shy and trying to combat that with strong expressions and strong energies and passions and desires. It just feels like a bit of a mess when we tune into this person's energy. Asking them, is it love or lust? The mouse is here to say they have had to have a lot of courage in order to be a part of this connection. You've seen parts of them that they're not used to being. I would argue that this person feels a little in out of their depths with you, with this connection. And I would also argue that this person doesn't seem to be as grand in their mind as you've made them out to be. You've got them pegged as a unicorn, and they're looking at themselves as a field mouse. They see themselves as just this little being with a basic, almost instinctual sense of purpose in life, and it takes them a lot of courage to do anything outside of their comfort zone. It takes them a lot of courage to explore the big world and to overcome their challenges and to follow the things that they're passionate about. There's a side to this person that feels incredibly boring. I don't mean to be rude, but with the judge and the mouse here, they could be somebody who just has their usual routine that they stick to. They have their comfort zone of people who they're used to being around, and they have their own way of doing things. And when anything outside of that familiarity changes, it's incredibly intimidating. And it makes this person feel like, oh my God, I have to have so much courage just to exist in this world. Now, there could be something else going on there, because this person's interpretation of how they feel about this connection is that I like you, I have an attraction for you, but it takes a lot of work from me to be here for you. So this person is seeing this connection as something that takes a lot of courage. They're not completely comfortable in this connection, and they're not completely comfortable with who they are in this connection. If anything, they feel like the work has been cut out for them. They're only showing up in any way that they do because they feel this passion for you, this attraction for you, this desire. But the thing about the fire ants is, yes, there's a lot of passion. It's like one of the most, I think it's like one of the first sentences in the guidebook about this card is like desire, being strongly attracted to something or someone. But it needs collaboration. A fire ant by itself can do a little bit, but fire ants together, have more confidence, achieve more, and get more reward towards the things that they want. So to me, both of these creatures are very small and don't have a lot to accomplish or give by themselves. To answer the question, this person I feel is trying to be sweet, but I don't think it's love. I think that they're very attracted to you. I think that they're a little bit intimidated by you. And I think that they're a little bit intimidated by the connection because it's encouraging them to be somebody that they're not ready to be, that they're not willing to be. And I think that you see them in a way that they don't identify with. They identify as a very different person than the one that exists in your mind. With that being said, there's a kindred feeling here between you with the fire ant showing up. It means that they recognize that the spark that they have for you is a spark that you have for them. And they feel that that is very special. The fact that the two of you are attracted to each other and are passionate about similar things, or can come together and create chemistry in a way where there's time could pass really quickly, or you could end up having a lot of fun together in those moments. They believe that that is quite special, but I just don't think they believe that this connection is love. So let's get some tarot out to close your reading now. Let's clarify any residual messages. Spirit, is this connection love or lust? We're going to have a look at the truth. What is the truth in my viewer's heart? Is this connection love or lust from my viewer's perspective, Spirit? Is this connection love or lust from my viewer's perspective? We have the Queen of Cups reversed. Is this connection love or lust from the other person's perspective? We have the Knight of Cups. And is this connection love or lust from Spirit's perspective? Yeah, okay. At the back of the deck is the Empress. So I just want to say that overall, the truth of this connection when it comes from feelings is that you're both very compassionate. There's a lot of feelings here that are grounded in enough of in a stable way to where at the very least this connection can be respectful. You can both hold space for each other respectfully. And it could be very easy to transition into something more if that's what you both want. Or it could be very easy for you to focus on yourselves and leave this connection behind if that's what you want. The connection either way, whether you choose to invest more time and energy into it or not, could continue to, as long as you're getting as much as you give in any outcome, it's going to be a very important part of your journey moving forward. I do think that you, my viewer, are being encouraged to focus on yourself with the Empress coming out. I'm not trying to label genders, but the Empress is very self-serving. So regardless of whether you identify as an Empress or a feminine energy or not, the only way that we become an Empress, theoretically, is by focusing on ourselves, by embodying the true meaning of self-love, self-care, self-growth, self-healing. The Empress is only able to create, expand, and fertilize whatever the heck she wants to do because she always takes care of herself first. So she represents the very human need to water your own backyard before you put the neighbor's fire out. And if we look at your tarot cards, we can see that already your feelings have become clearer in that there's a slight separation between what you actually feel versus what you were wanting to feel. And the Queen of Cups reversed is saying that more than anything, you're feeling uncertain, and that's a sign that you need to proceed carefully. Don't go all in yet. Don't expose yourself in your most vulnerable form to this connection. Don't give more than necessary, and don't emotionally devote yourself yet. Is it love or lust in your heart? No, it's confusion. There are feelings 100%, but actually the fears, the uncertainty are stronger. And I think that there's a part of this connection that felt incredibly idealized, which also confused how you felt. Now for this person, the Knight of Cups indicates that there are romantic feelings here. Is it love or lust? I wouldn't say it's love, but there are feelings here. And the way that this person operates isn't likely to change. So they're likely to try to continue what they've been doing with you. Again, with that idea of respect. And you could expect this person to kind of make it a little bit more obvious that they like you. But with the Knight of Cups, they're behind. You're looking for more than what they see. They see this connection as fun, it's dating, there are romantic intentions, but there aren't romantic feelings yet. There are romantic gestures, romantic conversations, romantic experiences, but they're not at the Queen of Cups or the King of Cups like you. And so, is that the worst thing? I don't personally think so. I think it just highlights how you're at different levels. This person isn't quite there yet. You are wanting more. They're still developing it. Is that enough for you? Is the question, group one. How long has this been going on? Is another question. Can you wait for them to become the version of themselves that you see them as? Or do you need to accept that this is already out of their comfort zone? And that once time passes, they may regress back into the version that they were before they met you. As a self-directed journey, you have to accept that this person is already intimidated by this connection and doing more than what they're used to doing. So unless they're willing to grow more, they're more likely to do less and to be less than what they currently are, because that feels more natural to them. To help you figure out how to proceed, let's have a look at Spirit's answer with tarot. Is this connection love or lust? From Spirit's perspective, this connection doesn't have to be this confusing. It doesn't have to be this isolating. It doesn't have to be this challenging. This connection has been stuck in a cycle of having every piece of information you could need and yet choosing to remain stuck instead of seeking solutions. It feels like you already know the truth. They already know the truth. You both just have to figure out what to do about it. What are you willing to do, wanting to do? What are they willing to do, wanting to do? Would it help to have a conversation, or would it help to just send a quick message and end that difficult cycle once and for all? The Eight of Swords represents a cycle of feeling stuck, of feeling like a victim in a situation where you have the ability to break out of it, but you need to do that. Nobody's going to rescue you. Nothing's going to change unless you do something differently. So Spirit is making it quite clear here that because you're the one that I'm reading for, this message is for you. You need to find a way forward. You need to do something differently, say something differently to elicit a different outcome. The only reason you're stuck is because you keep doing and saying things that keep you stuck. So that's what I'm seeing for you, group one. Sorry it turned into tough love at the end. I hope that was a helpful reading for you. I'm going to go into the extended reading now. In the extended, we're focusing on what are they hiding from you, specifically their thoughts and feelings. What is this person hiding? It should help get more clarity. I'm also going to get channeled messages because I have my deck still out. Whoops, I shouldn't press so hard. I thought I made a mark. Channeled messages. So if this reading resonated and you want those additional messages, the link to the extended readings is in the description box, as well as the pinned comment. Make sure you click on the right group. Each group's extended reading is sold separately. Unless you're a Hermie member, then you'll have access to all the groups and all the readings on the website. So if you're about to join me there, I will see you soon. But if this is where we're parting ways, as I said in the beginning, thank you so much, group one, for letting me be a part of your journey, for letting me read for you. I hope this reading was empowering, clarifying, and confirming, just like we kind of set out from the beginning. At the end of the day, you are the oracle in your life. Trust yourself, know yourself, Until we cross paths again, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Bye. Hi Group 2 and welcome to your reading. It is so lovely to have you all here. Your reading today is covering the topic, is it love or is it lust? Here's all the info you can expect from today's reading. The top section you may recognize, actually you should recognize all of this, but this is what we're doing on YouTube and this is what we're doing in the extended reading. So I'm going to talk more about the extended at the end. I did add channeled messages on after I did group 1's reading. It just made sense. So I'm going to leave it there. I think it would be helpful for all the groups. So we'll see how we go in your reading on YouTube. Whether we choose to add anything else, we'll leave that for the end. To open your reading, I just want to take a quick moment to tune in, to witness you and to acknowledge your presence. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for trusting me with these messages, for letting me be a part of your journey, and for allowing me to read for you. I want to say that your presence is very strong. I've been trying to comment on one thing for each group, and for your group, I really feel the connection that you have with self. You really show up quite strongly. I don't know how that's going to come through in the reading, but I feel like you can't get to that point without a lot of reflection, a lot of self-awareness, and a lot of soul-seeking, or at least self-seeking. So I want to acknowledge the amount of time and the challenges you would have had to overcome to do that. And I just want to acknowledge how strong you are today. You feel incredibly resilient. I'm seeing the words persevering. So you're probably going through something right now. And I feel like this reading is going to be a helpful part of that, whether this is about that or not. I really hope that we can focus on empowering your strengths and focus on clarifying and confirming what you already know, because somebody like you has already had to prove a lot. So let's build you up, let's seek the truth, and let's hopefully part ways at the end with you feeling like a more pronounced version of the already powerful person that you are. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open your reading. I'm going to set my intentions. I highly encourage you to set intentions as well. Consider what drew you to this reading in the first place. Consider why this connection may be the one that you chose. Do you have any specific questions, for example? Is there a specific experience or incident that comes to mind? Think about the clarity that you're seeking or the confusion that you have, and let's tune in. Spirit, please connect me to Group 2's energy. Please help me offer Group 2 clear, helpful, supportive messages about this connection, and more importantly, about their highest good. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, please come through clearly to equip me with the words and the right messages that are going to be most helpful for Group 2 today. Please help me navigate the waves of information with certainty, compassion, kindness, and love. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let us get into it. Is it love or is it lust? Let's have a look at your energies first. Spirit, what is my viewer's energy towards their person? What is my viewer's energy towards their person, please, Spirit? Wow. We have the bridge. And what is their person's energy towards the viewer? What is their person's energy towards the viewer? Okay, we're going to take the top one. We have agape. Wow. Can we clarify from spirit, what is the energy of this connection, please? What is the energy of this connection? All right, we're going to take this, and we're also going to take this. Now, at the back of the deck is Anima Mundi. Is that all in frame? Yeah, cool. Let's pull you down so that we can be close to the cards until I pull more cards. That makes more sense. Let's move you over a bit. There we go. Alrighty. So, at the back of the deck is Anima Mundi. Now, what you need to know about this card is it kind of represents the collective consciousness. It isn't supposed to align with one specific religion or spiritual practice. It is supposed to connect to everything. It is supposed to be the fabric of consciousness that ties us all together, whether we believe something has consciousness or not. So it's quite profound. It's very metaphysical. It's also incredibly hard to define. So for this to be a part of your reading shows an incredible significance to the relationship of your connection. Now, this is obviously a romantic reading. This connection is kind of the epitome of the idea that everything happens for a reason. There are parts of this connection that couldn't have been possible had other things not happened first. Therefore, there's a lot about your connection that just feels divinely fated, divinely orchestrated. And there could be parts of your own individual journeys where you're like, but really, did I have to go through that? Did I have to have my heart broken first? Like, did I have to experience trauma, hardship, isolation, loneliness? Why couldn't I have just met the love of my life? Why couldn't I have just found that person? It never seems to be the most straightforward path. But the idea behind this card is that if you could look at everything, every single thing that has happened since and before you were born, that created you, you would realize that everything does happen for a reason. And even when I'm saying that, I can't help but think of really horrible, tragic things that happen. And as a human, I can't fully comprehend why any of that is necessary. Why do people have to go through things like that, right? But this card tries to help us understand that life is more than just us. Life is more than the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the horrible, the blessings, the triumphs, the defeats. It's about everything and how everything, everyone interacts. So with Anima Mundi, your connection feels incredibly orchestrated from a divine standpoint. No human being could have made this happen. Because why would anyone write that kind of story? You know what I mean? For good or for bad. It feels like this is the kind of experience that truly, if you had the chance, you would have written it differently. And yet here we are. So there are many hints that this connection has had a profound impact on your life. It has created blessings, opportunities, and at the same time, it resembles what I felt in the beginning. Your journey, your perseverance, your strengths. There's something about the energy of your connection now that feels very fated because it couldn't have happened sooner. You weren't in the right place, they weren't in the right place. You were a different person, they were a different person. This had to happen, that had to happen. And in the grand scheme of things, sure, it might make sense. But it also feels like you've had a whole life outside of this connection. Like you became yourself outside of this connection, not because of this connection. And you came into union with this person because you found yourself first. You found a connection to self and source first. And what that makes me think is that you as a person have a very, what's the word? Well, yes, you have that strong connection to self, but you also have the ability to have a big impact in your lifetime. I think that whatever you have been through, whatever you've overcome, and whatever you aspire to do has a beautiful knock-on effect to those around you. You were meant to live in the age of Aquarius, let's just say that. You were meant to change your life and the trajectory of your lineage, getting to achieve and accomplish and experience things your ancestors couldn't even dream of, so that you could awaken other people to understand what they're capable of, what they should aspire for, and to ultimately carve out a path that suits them as an individual. I think while you inspire a lot of people, there's an obvious humility to your nature. I think any form of recognition or even just compliments that you expect to receive is really the bare minimum. It's just being a good person, you know? You're not out here scouring for praise like it's a kink. You're genuinely invested in self-development, in self-bettering, for lack of a better word, and just trying to prove to yourself more than anyone that your life is in your hands and you will waste it if you want to, expand it if you want to, pivot if you want to, commit to things if you want to. There's a lot of things about your energy that feels like as you get older, you kind of become more determined. Does that make sense? Like, age doesn't weary you, for lack of a better word. I'm really struggling to find the right words for you. I think I should have done more reading before I did your reading so I could brush up on my vocabulary because I'm struggling to keep up. There's a lot going on here. As you get older, instead of getting tired, lazy, you become more motivated, more alive, more determined. And it is different. I just want to highlight that. You're not going to be a bag of bones and working hard, trying to make a living. But you're going to be very attached to this lifetime. You're going to go out fighting. And I don't mean to talk about the end in a reading that should really just be about lighthearted love. But your spirit is so strong. You will be so connected to this timeline. And when the time comes to leave this earth, I think you'll have a very hard time letting go. You'll be someone who feels very connected to the life they led. And if you leave anybody behind who you love, you will stay as a guardian angel to watch over them, to support them in the way that you really needed that, because you appreciate whatever guardian angel support you have. So your soul just feels very incredibly strong, but human. You're very human in the way where, like I said, you're meant to be born in the age of Aquarius, or to witness the age of Aquarius, because you are those souls that truly start those transformations. And it doesn't come because you want to be, a leader or an activist or a rebel. You just want to be you. And you have the weight of your ancestors supporting you, but also reminding you that, hey, we didn't always have this kind of privilege. So you better get up, you better start your day. And as long as you're breathing, you better hustle and prove to all of us, especially yourself, that life is in your hands. So there's a part of you that feels like you're really out here holding on to your humanity, holding on to this experience. And that's the energy you bring. That's the impact you have on this connection. This person's energy, on the other hand, feels a little bit oblivious to certain things. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm reading for you, so if I was reading for them, maybe the message would be slightly different. But I can just see with Agape here that they have a lot of love for you. A lot of love. As soon as your card came through, I knew that this was a connection that was mutual. The bridge indicates to me that you're both working towards this connection. If that doesn't resonate, you're in the wrong group. If this is a future lover, they are wanting the same things as you. You are in energetic alignment, and it's only a matter of time before you come into union. The whole idea behind this connection is that it could only ever happen at the right time in your lives, which couldn't be measured by time, experience. It could only be measured by energy. You had to both be at the right stage in life, in the right energy to receive each other. Now, your person's energy towards you literally means unconditional love. Agape is unconditional love. This person holds a flame for you. If they're not in your life already, they are holding space for you. If they are in your life, they're incredibly grateful for you, very devoted, and very, very much in love with whatever it is that you do. This person holds space for you in their life because they recognize that you are an individual. They recognize that you are your own person. I keep hearing the word sovereign, but I watched a documentary today about sovereign citizens and how it's like it's kind of turned into a little bit of a rebellious thing. So I'm not trying to be political when I use the term. I just want to be very clear. I think that documentary came at a really good time so that I could just clearly state, like, I don't support I'm not affiliated with any political movements. Let's just say that. To each their own. And I wish peace and respect and value onto every person. I hope everybody feels at peace, respected and valued in whatever community they're a part of. But this person sees you as someone who's very sovereign. You're your own person. You have this desire to be seen as that, but you also have this feeling of like you're a big deal, and they see that. They see that you are an incredible person, and it would take them a long time to list everything that they love about you. So straight off the cuff, the energy is love from this person, not lust, love. From your energy, I believe that you're matching whatever they give. You're not trying to do the most. You're not trying to fall behind. You're trying to match. This person's energy feels almost more open, romantic, and maybe even expressive than what yours is. There's a part of you that feels so focused on self that there are times when this connection takes the back seat. This person's needs, as far as you're concerned, are their primary responsibility. And even if you do love them, you hope and want for them to love themselves as much as they love you. And that comes from loving and respecting them. You sincerely hope that when they love you, they are coming from a space of, I love myself more. and I love you so much. So you hope that they understand the way that you love, and you hope that you understand the way that they love, which makes me think that your energy is still at a stage where it's like trying to figure out how to meet each other halfway, how to love each other the way that the other person wants to be loved. So you may feel like you both have different love languages, or that your personalities are at times very different. This person could be someone that needs a lot of attention or physical touch or words of affirmation, whereas you're someone who's like, if I'm here, it means that you are important, because I wouldn't waste my time if you weren't. So your principles may be very disarming for this person. It may have been a lot to get their head around. They might have been like, what? Really? Can you just give me a kiss before you go? Like, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I can. But like, you know, if I don't kiss you, or if I forget to kiss you, it doesn't mean that I don't love you anymore. On the other hand, I think that this person has helped you realize how much you appreciate the small things. And if they're not in your life yet, they will. They will help you realize how much you appreciate the small things. Yes, the big moments matter. Yes, the big sentimental experiences help the relationship in the beginning and throughout to strengthen after it's got that foundation. But the little moments, the little remembering to kiss each other, turning to each other and just smiling, they all add to the connection in very small yet meaningful ways. And they have a beautiful way of strengthening love that you have for a person in small but meaningful ways. So from Spirit's point of view, Spirit's like, why are you here? The riddle is, why are you questioning the love? Of course this person loves you. Of course there is love in this connection. So the question that Spirit has is, what can I do for you, pretty much? So hopefully I can figure that out too. But I would like you to think, pause the video if you need to, and just say it out loud. If you can think of why you were drawn to this reading and what I can do to help you. And hopefully as we continue forward, we can address that need, and I can address that need in this reading. So let's move forward. Because it feels like you're questioning the connection's future more than the connection's present. So let's have a look now. Is it love or lust? What are we working with? We're going to move to this oracle deck now. Is it love or is it lust? Spirit, for my viewer, is this connection love or is it lust? For my viewer, we have the Lamb. For their person, is this connection love or lust? We have the Elephant. And from Spirit's point of view, is this connection love? I'm going to have to take the Snake. But a lot of cards came out. Now we have the Buffalo, and we also have the Owl. So I just want to take this time to say that this connection is something that really, comes at a time where you're receptive, you're a critical thinker, you are intelligent, you already have wisdom, but you need to continue to stay open to learning. That's when this connection comes into your life. And from this point forward, when you see this reading and forward, it's really important that you continue to practice your discernment, to apply these messages in whatever way that they resonate, so that you can, like I said in the beginning, empower your strengths, your strong mind already, And with the buffalo here, so that you can keep moving forward, keep making progress. This is a powerful connection, and you are a powerful person. So there's a lot of promise that's lying ahead. Now, looking at your oracle cards, I do want to talk about spirit first with the snake. The snake's energy is earth energy, and we can see signs of the flower of life. I do believe that in this case, with the snake eating itself, a lot of symbols of what goes around comes around. We're all connected. Spirit is indicating that this connection is what it is. What you know it to be is what it is. If you know it to be a connection that is grounded in love, that's what it is. If you know this connection to be a connection grounded in lust, that's what it is. But I feel like it is love. I feel like this connection is what you have both chosen it to be. Now, I also think with this being an earth energy, the nature of this connection is to be grounded. It's not supposed to be a connection that confuses you, that causes you anxiety unnecessarily, but it is a connection that is supposed to strengthen you. And so the challenges that you're likely to experience in this connection are challenges that encourage you to grow, to be a better version, rather than regressing. This is the kind of connection that should help you understand the version of yourself that you want to be versus the version of yourself that you're allowing yourself to be. And so I do feel like the snake holds a lot of big themes, but it also reminds us of the basics. Sometimes it is what it is. We don't need to read too far into the lines. We can just acknowledge that's the line. It is love. Now, I also think with your energy being the lamb reversed, this connection is challenging you. It's calling for you to embrace your softer side, and it's also calling for you to practice what you've been preaching. It's calling for you to practice your strengths, the things that have wizened you up. It's calling for you to practice your principles, the things that you love preaching to other people. But it's also calling for you to embrace your nature, to be truly at peace with who you are, so this person can agape, unconditionally love you. And I think that that is challenging. I think that that's scary. I think it's hard being vulnerable. It's hard even saying that out loud. So this is not something that you would sacrifice or risk for anybody. If you needed me to clarify, yes, I think you love them, because you wouldn't put yourself through all of this for anybody. You wouldn't challenge yourself to be soft for anybody. It would take a very special person to encourage you to be soft and to encourage you to be powerful at the same time. And I think that in many ways that almost feels hard to believe, but it is possible. With this person, for them with the elephant reversed, you also feel too good to be true. I see the elephant upright as somebody who clears obstacles, an energy of force and power. So in many ways, you've challenged them as well. You've brought into their awareness a lot of things that they haven't cleared, a lot of obstacles that still stand in their way. Prior to you, they thought they were doing pretty well. They thought they'd been on a journey, gone through some really difficult, rough patches, but they thought they were doing better. And now, coming into union with somebody like you has made them realize, goodness, I've still got a lot of learning to do. I've still got a lot of clearing to do. I've still got a lot of challenges to overcome, and I'm still not quite the person I want to be. So there's parts of this connection that truly makes them feel insecure at times. The elephant energy is a fiery energy reversed. So this is like passion that just spoils into insecurity, self-confidence issues, frustration, fear. And for a really strong word that's coming through is cowardice. This person feels betrayed by their past version of themselves in some ways, even though they acknowledge, like Anima Mundi, that they had to go through those things in order to be who they are today. They do wish that they'd done things differently, and they try not to let that hold them back. I feel like you've got someone who's quite grounded, like they try to stay present. They try to just focus on what's in front of them, especially with the elephant energy. They're not really lost in the future, but they try not to get distracted by the past either. They try to just keep moving forward, is what I feel is their catchphrase. And so we see that between the two of you, the question of why am I here seems to be more about, is this connection really true love? Can this connection really last? Is all of the risk going to be worth the reward? Because you're both putting quite a lot out there, taking quite a big gamble. Let's get some tarot to really bring this home. Is it love or is it lust? What can the Rider-Waite Tarot deck tell us, Spirit? Is it love or is it lust? For my group ones, is it love? This is group 2. Excuse me. Sorry about that. For my group 2s, is it love or is it lust? Wow. Okay, dramatic. That card was flipped. I love it. Group 2's person, is it love or is it lust, Spirit? For group 2's person. Stop. Where is that from? I think it was a wedding song. All my life, I pray for someone like me. Who is that? Sorry, I'm getting flashbacks to like birthdays when that song would come up, or like a wedding, and even mum playing it when she would clean on a Saturday morning. But like I can't picture why I know it. It was just like in the background, like a theme song. I thank God that I finally found you. Like that came through so strongly when I was shuffling for their energy, not to like, oh, it's just so beautiful. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. If you know that song, please comment down below. Help us out. Spirit, from yourself, from Spirit, is it love? Is it lust? What can you tell group 2 about this connection? Whoa, okay. Yeah, Spirit's like, that's enough. All right, so listen, look, I love that we got to connect. I love that we have had the chance to exchange energy, that you've let me be a part of your journey, let me read for you. I'm so grateful that you've been listening to me talk for over 30 minutes now. But Spirit is saying, please, keep your head, be real. I hope I was able to really objectively give you a different perspective of the situation that you're in. But I think Spirit is saying, like, trust what you know. If you need answers, use your empathy. Be patient with your feelings if they are still developing, or if this person isn't in your life yet, especially if you asked about a future partner or a future spouse. And really just trust yourself first and foremost, because your inner compass, guided by your empathy, your intuition, and your instincts, is going to tell you very clearly whether this is love or lust. This connection, if things have resonated up until this point, is supposed to be a serious relationship, a balanced relationship. Yes, there is love, there is deep empathy, deep understanding, deep compassion, deep connection, to the point where you will put the other person above yourself and vice versa. They will put you above themselves. It will take for you to say, hey, wait a minute, no, we don't have to do what I wanted. We can do what you want. Like, shouldn't just give in too easily. This is the kind of relationship that is rooted in friendship, respect, companionship, and partnership. So it's bigger than just love. It feels like it will even include marriage for a lot of you. But it's ultimately about, with this Justice card upright, showing up in a partnership and being able to communicate to each other if you feel confused, if you feel doubt, if you really needed to know what was going on with them. You should feel like you can turn to them and go, wait a minute, I feel like things are off. Don't make me do a tarot reading. What's going on with you? Are you okay? Do you feel overwhelmed, or what's going on? You know what I mean? So Spirit's saying trust yourself, but trust your ability to ask this person as well. Now, for you, Tarot is saying very clearly that this connection represents a big part of who you are today, what you value in yourself, and what you've been seeking from other people. I believe that this is love for you because this person represents everything that you wanted for yourself. They represent the qualities that you were seeking. They represent the kind of person that you were looking for in love. And they also represent someone who you can turn to if you need clarity. They're not just going to leave you in the dark. I think if you really wanted to know, you could talk to them about it and say, hey, do you love me? And they could say, yeah, I love you. Are you okay? What's going on? So I think you know, and I think for the Lovers card to come out, it's not just saying, yes, this is love. It's saying, yes, you can trust yourself. Look at how she's looking at Spirit and going, is it? I don't know what's going on. And he's like, who are you talking to? Why aren't you just asking me? Oh, okay, I'll just wait. No, you're right. You ask. I'll just stand here next to the burning bush and wait. You talk to Spirit. And Spirit's like, of all the things I need to do today, yes, you can trust yourself enough to know that you found this person and that they are who they say they are, and you do feel what you think you feel, and they feel what they say they feel. It is real. So that's what I see with the Lovers card in your position. Now, with their cards, they're an interesting person to read for. You come through as such a strong energy. So trying to tune into their energy feels like it's a little, how do I word this? There's a spiritual aspect to them, but it's less intense. With the Queen of Wands here, they were manifesting you, but it wasn't the same way that you were. They were on a self-focused journey, but it wasn't the same one that you were on. And they were trying to avoid distractions and just stay true to what they really wanted. But it was a little less extreme than what you went through. And so while this person has a colorful spirit, a really charming energy, and a strong, warm presence, it still doesn't feel as big as yours. And that could just be because I'm reading for you. You know what I mean? But that may resonate as additional confirmation. You guys could feel very similar, but you might agree that maybe your energy overpowers theirs sometimes. Take it as it resonates. I am fully putting out that other idea where I think it's because I'm reading for you that your energy is stronger. So is it love or lust from their perspective? To be honest, this person has no doubts. That's why the Two of Swords is reversed. There's no doubts. There's no uncertainty. There's no confusion. They made up their mind and they believe that they chose this connection. They believe that there was a point early on, because it's the two, very early on in your connection, they made the decision to choose you. And they chose to love you. And this is very important because it speaks a lot about their journey, what they went through in the past, and about how they love. They may be a very, again, warm person, but I feel like this person choosing to love you is a sign that they haven't always allowed themselves to be open to love. They haven't always allowed people into their heart. They haven't always trusted people enough to love them. And so very early on, they decided to trust you and to love you. And it could have just started off, really like sweet and maybe even a little bit childish, like not in like a negative way, but like in a youth, like a very, what's the best word? I swear to God, I should have done reading before I did your reading, so my vocabulary was better. But it just feels like it's like innocent, an innocent love, like a playful love, like I love you, stay safe, like that kind of just, you just say it. And yeah, there's affection, but it got stronger as your connection has gotten stronger. So with the Queen of Wands here, there's a strong feeling of connection that they have now. And there's a strong feeling of certainty that this was the right choice and that they don't regret nor doubt that they love you. They want to be very clear, though, with this being the Queen of Wands, that they're very attracted to you. So I think this person's being a bit cheeky and saying it's love and it's lust. So take that as it resonates. But there's a lot of like chemistry here with the Queen of Wands. Very magnetic attraction. Like just, you're exactly my type of attraction. And this is also the kind of attraction that is just like moth to the flame type of vibes. Like I see no one else. I'm just laser focused, which is really cute. It's a really beautiful way of this person's energy coming in to confirm what we'd felt from the beginning. And it's also very confirming of the amount of respect that they have for you as well as themselves, because they're saying that they take relationships seriously with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands has Leo energy, very loyal, very compassionate, and they hate to feel cheated. They hate to feel betrayed. It's a horrible character arc. A Leo going through cheating or betrayal is like a canon event that strengthens their regality. It makes them even more powerful, but it's a horrible thing to witness, and it's a horrible thing to have to go through. I think it's worse on the outside. I have so much love and respect for Leos. So I just feel like when this person loves, they love with a Leo's heart, like just really loyal, really devoted, really like you're my everything type of love. Lots of respect for you. And they maintain a lot of respect for themselves too when they're in relationships, because they want you to feel proud to be with them. They want you to go, yeah, that's my partner. Look at them. Oh my gosh, they're so attractive. They're so handsome. They're so beautiful, etc. So that's the kind of love that they have. And it's still very much cheeky. So this person could have a cheeky sense of humor because they're saying, oh, I love them, but it's also like I lust for them as well. Oh, thank you for making me cry, keeping me humble. That is what I have for you, group 2. I'm going to cut your reading there. and we're going to go into the extended. What else can we do for you in the extended? That's the real question. We are going to be having a look at what are they hiding from you, thoughts and feelings wise. What thoughts haven't they expressed and why? What feelings haven't they expressed and why? I think we're going to get more about like some of their, I don't know if there's anything they haven't told you. So we might have to make this more interesting. Let's maybe look at like the future. What is next for your connection? Let's do that. What is next for your connection? And we will get channeled messages as well. So I'll do all of this. I feel like this person is pretty honest, but if they are hiding anything, we'll find out about it. And then we'll have a look at their thoughts and feelings, channeled messages, and what is next for this connection. If you would like to extend your reading with me, the link is in the description box, as well as the pinned comment. That link will take you to my website. Make sure you click on the right group to watch your extended reading, your group 2. And just double check it's the right group before you pay anything. Make sure you're in the right place. And I will see you there. If this is where we're parting ways, thank you so much, sweet souls, for just letting me be a part of your journey. Your energy is refreshing. It's so sweet. It feels really beautiful. And I love that you've brought this energy into this reading, into this collective reading, but also just into my reading room. So thank you. I hope I was helpful. I hope I at least strengthened your already strong aura. And I hope I was just able to ground you in confirmation and clarity. So thank you for that. As we part ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Bye. Hi group 3 and welcome to your reading. We're asking Spirit, is it love or lust? I have more information about what we're covering down below. I've got it written in front of me, however, so if you can't read this or if you want it to see, if you want to read it in a more neater format, do check down below. This is what we're covering here on YouTube. We're looking at those 3 key perspectives on your connection. Your perspective, the other person's perspective, and Spirit's perspective of the bigger picture. This is your extended reading info. This is what I did for group 2, and I did that for group 1. We'll see how we feel about you, whether we need to add anything on or take something out, change it a little bit so that it resonates more for your reading. We'll cover the extended at the end. To get into your reading, I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge you, to connect with you, and to just feel your energy. So sweet souls group 3, I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate your time, your energy. I appreciate you for showing up for me, and I appreciate how you show up for the people in your life. I appreciate your beautiful big heart. I appreciate your compassion, your empathy, your kindness, and I appreciate you still learning and trying to impose healthy boundaries for yourself, which includes the people that you hang around, the things that you choose to do with your free time, the things that you consume, and how you take care of yourself. I appreciate the way that you've given time to me out of your precious day, and I hope that you are able to make more time for yourself today and every day moving forward. Your energy feels very green. I don't know if it's just the butterfly that came through for you or if it's just you, but heart chakra energy is very prominent. So I just wanted to appreciate your heart chakra right now, your self-giving nature, and I want to emphasize that it is just as important to receive. So I hope to be able to give to you, and I hope to be able to give you messages that are helpful about this connection, about your journey, and also about your highest good. With that being said, let's open your reading. I'm going to do a little mantra that I do, which helps me tune into your energy, tune into this connection's energy, and set my intentions. While I do that, listen to my voice. Consider setting your own intentions as well. You can set intentions by focusing on this connection or this person, and just observing the sorts of feelings and questions or thoughts that you have while you're focusing on this connection and this person. If you have specific questions in mind, do keep them in mind while I do this opening mantra, and keep those intentions as clear as you can. I'll do the same. Spirit, please tune me into group 3's energy. Please help me offer group 3 the most clear, honest messages for their reading and about this connection for their highest good. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, please come through clearly to direct me through the information so that I'm able to clearly deliver messages and any other helpful information for group 3. Please help me navigate this reading with clarity, empathy, and the highest good of group 3 in mind. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's get into it. Is it love or is it lust? We're going to start with this reading, this deck. It's an oracle deck. It's an archetypes deck. And it will help us understand the energies that are going into this connection. First, we're going to have a look at your energy, the viewer. So, Spirit, for my group 3s, what is their energy towards this connection? What is group 3's energy towards this connection, please, Spirit? We have the womb in the reverse position. And what is their person's energy towards this connection? We have Siren and Gnosis. And what is Spirit's energy towards this connection, please? What is Spirit's energy towards this connection? We have the Mystic. At the back of the deck is the Judge. So it seems like this connection is one that is currently imbalanced. Someone may need to make a decision about what to do in this connection, which will alter the way the connection moves forward. We're either going to restore balance or we're going to accept something is what it is. I do feel like this decision is a little bit one-sided. It doesn't feel favorable to both people. It doesn't feel like it's going to benefit both people. It feels like it's one person needing to deliver their judgment, one person sharing their opinion, one person altering the course of this connection by expressing how they feel, what they want, etc. We're going to get more information about that with tarot. But so far, the energy in this connection feels very one-sided, as though one person holds more power than the other. And it does feel like this connection is not black and white. It's rather complicated. Both people deserve to be heard, but one person isn't being heard. One person isn't a part of that important decision-making process. And for that reason, I do think that this connection is just not fair. The Judge is showing up as a blockage, as if to say the judgment of someone's judgment is blocking this connection's balance. It could be that somebody is thinking about what other people are going to say, what other people are thinking, what other people are telling them. They're giving weight to other people's opinions, which is unnecessarily complicating the connection. But regardless of that, I do feel like this is a connection that is struggling to grow right now. It feels choked, and that's coming from your energy with the womb here. I'm just going to tie my hair up really quickly because it's a bit hot in this room. Okay, sorry about that, but definitely warming up in here, which is crazy. I've got the aircon on. It's a cool day here, but it's warm. So maybe you're in a part of the world that is warmer, or you're in a room that's warm. I don't know. I'm tuning into the energies here and I'm feeling the heat. So with the womb card, this is your energy. It's saying that the way that you feel about this connection energetically, not in your heart, but in your energy, is like things are just stagnant. They're not developing. You feel like you're at a place where you could and should be further along than what you are. And your nature, to look at it as the womb reversed, is being shown as somebody who is very nurturing, who holds space for people, and who expected this connection to be something more than what it currently is. And so I feel like for you to be showing up as the womb, you're underappreciated in this connection. You're not getting your needs met. You're not getting your appreciation, your recognition. And when you choose to invest in this connection, it just feels like a dead end. Even if you stop giving, if you still care, it feels like you care knowing that this person isn't caring with you or to the same extent that you are. And so you feel like somebody who has potential, but in this situation, in this connection, that potential feels wasted. It feels spoiled. It reminds me of fruit. And look, we're all guilty of it. You know, when you buy fruit or vegetables with the intention of, I'm going to eat it, and then you forget, and it sits at the bottom of your fridge or in your cupboard or, you know, in your pantry, and it sits there, even sometimes in a bowl on your kitchen bench, staring at you, walk past every day, choosing other food. And it gets to the point where it starts to smell, and you're like, oh gosh, that's that pear that I bought last week and I didn't eat it. That's what this feels like. It feels like sourness. It feels like spoiled fruit. It feels like your energy was once very intended, in that you intended on nurturing, and you saw this as something that could be nourishing, that could be beneficial, that could even develop, but it expired instead. It was never able to turn into something more. And so this connection could feel like something that even spoiled you, spoiled your potential, and spoiled the goodness out of you. You may feel like this connection took advantage of you in some way. This person took advantage of you in some way. They turned you against yourself at times, making you feel negatively about those qualities that you have, which in any other context would be good qualities. It's a good thing to be somebody who nurtures, who cares. But in this case, it feels like it was weaponized against you, and it became something that at some point you really didn't like about yourself because of how this person used it against you. As it stands now, with the womb reversed, you are in a more self-serving energy. You have retreated and you are more focused on yourself. You still have the ability to care, but you have enough experience in this connection to know that you need to care more about yourself right now. You need to give more to yourself right now, and you need to extend that nurture and empathy towards self right now, more than this person, more than this connection. And so for you, my viewer, the number 46 could be significant, as it is the number of the womb card in this deck. And these colors could also be significant, as well as pawpaws or papayas, pearls, any fruit or vegetables that have this sort of coloring could be significant. I'm just going to wipe the camera really quickly, because I can't tell if it's just me or if the camera is actually blurry. I think it's just me. I should be wearing my glasses. Whoops. Oh well. And so with the womb here, we can see energies that are very focused on self for you, my viewer. Let's have a look at them now. They got the Siren and Gnosis. Now, Gnosis is showing up as a blockage, just like the Judge, indicating challenges. Siren came out reversed. For your person, the number 43 is significant. Oh, sorry, that's not 43. That is 18. The number 18 could be significant, or the number 75 with Gnosis. Gnosis is a spirit card. It's like the major arcana of this deck, unofficially. And it represents some sort of bigger knowing, like a higher power level of knowing, a godlike knowing, a spirit knowing, a source knowing. It's beyond human comprehension. With that as a blockage, I can see that this person's energy is likely to make excuses. Now, I'm not trying to turn faith and into an excuse. That's not what I'm saying. But if this was about belief, it wouldn't be a challenge. This person is challenged by the idea that there's some things in this world that they just don't know. And what they're doing here is they're blaming their lack of knowledge and using that as an excuse for their actions. They're saying, well, I just didn't know. How could I know? How could I know? I'm just a human. That was out of my hands. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a god. How could I know? I exist down here in my reality. How was I supposed to know what was happening over there? What was happening in this other person's world, in their head? And so this way of energy projects an immediate barrier. This person is energetically closed off to this connection. And they feel like, on one hand, they are looking for solutions. This is just from my point of view. For this card to show up, it means that they are processing what has happened here. They are talking to people about it. They are trying to get other people's insight. But internally, they're not willing to accept their accountability. They'd much prefer to blame it on a higher power or use their faith and their beliefs in bigger consciousness and the unknown as an excuse, instead of admitting that they did something here that misled you. And that's what I'm seeing with the siren reversed. They misled you. The siren is a very magnetic energy. It represents sirens in mythology who would lure sailors into the water and drown them and then steal their riches. So with that card reversed, it's here for a reason. It indicates that their energy towards you was also very self-serving. They wanted what they wanted from you, and when they were done, they moved on to whatever else they wanted. This is the type of person, for them to show up as a siren, that focuses on what they want. They focus and they direct their attention towards what they want. And in some cases, they're so good at getting what they want that they don't even have to chase. They can just look pretty, be charming, and expect what they want to come to them. And they're used to getting away with being this way because in many ways this isn't about hurting people. This is about getting what they want, using what they have to get what they want. And so in many ways, this is what makes them successful. This is what gets them their opportunities, their blessings. This is even a skill or a natural ability that maybe their parents or loved ones supports in them. Well, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you'll get it. You'll be fine. Just smile, be your usual beautiful self, and you'll get it. In your case, it feels like you can't even validate what has happened to you to its full extent, because people will look at this person and go, well, wait a minute, they're a siren. What were you doing messing around with a siren? Of course you were going to get hurt. Of course that wasn't going to work out. Of course they were going to go and find something else, because that's what sirens do. They get what they want, and then when they want something else, they go straight towards it. They focus on it. So you could feel like, yes, your care, your empathy was used against you because you cared more. But you could also feel like you're misunderstood because this person is just doing what they always do. And so you're the one who didn't pay attention to the warning signs. Now, I do feel like with the siren reverse, this person is not focused on this connection. Their perspective is that you are attached, they are open to bigger things. And this connection in some ways feels like a blockage. It feels like something that could be stopping them from achieving or pursuing what they really want. And I'm sorry if that's really cruel. We're going to move forward, we're going to get more clarity, and we're going to really figure out what's going on here. But before we do, let's have a look at what Spirit has to say. With the mystic here, Spirit's saying that the energy in this connection is very, cloudy. The mystic indicates knowing based on experience and knowing based on intuition, knowing based on instincts, what your gut is telling you, and knowing based on what the evidence is telling you. So it goes both ways. There's an unexplainable knowing here, and there is reality telling you the truth as well. The only cloudiness is in the misrepresentation of both versions of what happened here. I don't think you have the same version of events. I don't think that you both have the same values. And I don't think that you have the same ideas of where the connection is at right now. So let's clarify some of these confusions. Is it love or is it lust? What is going on here? We're going to move into your heart spaces now. For my viewer, from their heart, is this connection love or lust? For my viewer, from their heart, we have Stingray. For their person, from their heart, I'm going to take that card. Yeah, look at that chaos. The moth. This person may like attention. They may like to be witnessed. They may like to feel like they're being noticed or seen. And this may be a recent shift in their energy because it's the moth. They may be somebody who's had a transformation that has made them want more attention. Now, this isn't just about attention for your, to boost your self-esteem in how you see yourself physically and how you want people to see you as being attractive. This can also be the type of attention with the moth where you want people to see your skills. You want people to think that you're intelligent and you're smart and you're funny. And it can just feel like someone who's just trying a bit too hard. Like if you really were those things, why would you need to prove it type of thing? So I'm going to try to go softer on them because I'm really going a bit too strong. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, what is going on here? Okay, the dolphin. I like the dolphin's energy from Spirit. This means that there is a lot of communication between you, your spiritual team, Spirit themselves, or their self, And with the hummingbird at the back of the deck, is it love or lust? I think you know, sweet soul. There's something about this person's energy that is very easily distracted. They're very hard to pin down, and they are very easily drawn towards sweet things. They feel like somebody that needs to be, I don't know how to word this. How do I word this? What I'm hearing is stimulated, and the way that they enjoy stimulation is by people giving them attention and making them feel more important than they feel to themselves. This person doesn't value themselves truly. Under a lie detector test or through psychotherapy, we would realize that there's something within themselves that is void when it comes to self-connection, self-identity, self-worth. And so they are utilizing those around them to build up this self-image, to build up this self-confidence, this self-worth. And we can see from Spirit's perspective, Spirit's saying, don't take this to heart. Use this connection to value what you have, who you are, and the qualities of empathy and love that you possess. They are high value. There shouldn't be shame. There shouldn't be guilt. There shouldn't be a sense of, what is wrong with me? Why am I like this? What you possess, my viewer, is what keeps humanity compassionate. And I feel like this person didn't value that. The dolphin's energy is very warm, bubbly, lighthearted, and also very much about that intelligent communication. It's a kind of like Spirit is saying that this connection wasn't supposed to be love, but it was supposed to lead you towards love, both of you. So let's have a look at this person, and then I'll finish with you because I have wonderful things to say about you. I want to get the uncomfortable stuff out of the way first. And the uncomfortable stuff is this person. When we look at their heart, we're seeing someone who feels very internally conflicted. The moth's energy in this deck is really about the colloquialism like a moth drawn to the flame. It insinuates that the moth is coming out of darkness and is being drawn towards the light. In this person's heart space, when they think of this connection, they think of it as something that they were very drawn towards. But there's past tense here because this card is reversed. This person, like I said, gets distracted easily. They're a siren. They go for what they want until they want something else. And I feel in this person's heart, they don't want this connection anymore. We can see your green energy showing up here. You've affected this person. You have positively affected them. You've positively affected them by showing them that there is more to life than just going after what you want and chasing your desires and being impulsive and inconsiderate towards other people's feelings. Whether they are processing that or not, it resonates in their heart that what they did could have hurt you. And we can see that the effect that you've had on them is that they realize that what you have is deeply compassionate, caring, and they don't want that. They don't have that within themselves, so why would they want that? It feels more than what they bargained for. They don't want to take on your feelings. They don't want to take on how you feel about them now after they've done things to hurt you, because that isn't self-serving. That requires more compassion and care towards you than they planned on giving. So you have affected them. That's why they are avoidant. because it's not in their nature to care for things that they don't want and to stick around for the deeper feelings of others. In this case, they know, they feel, but they don't want it. So we can see with your energy, the stingray is a very powerful animal in this deck. We can see this rainbow on its back resembling Kundalini, the chakras, energetic alignment. And as a water spirit animal, the stingray represents using and processing emotion through your energy centers, through your chakras, to gain wisdom, to make sure that subconscious feelings aren't blocking or controlling you, and to make sure that you're in alignment with your highest good. The stingray's energy is very fluid, flexible. It truly represents flowing. There's no bones. Well, actually, I think there is one near its mouth, but there's so much cartilage and skin and things that wouldn't be rigid, that would be flexible and bendable. And I think that this really talks about the way that you can be when treated right. You can be flexible, you can be open and in flow, going with the people that you care about and accommodating them in your lives, even at times compromising some of the things that you want for yourself. But with the stingray reversed, you're not in that energy towards this person. Your heart space is that you have this, you acknowledge that you have this, but it's not needed here. And I think that's really powerful. I think that you are protecting yourself. I think that you are finding ways to prioritize yourself, to put yourself first, and to also make commitments to yourself above how you feel. Because I think that part of you still feels something for this person, connected, empathetic. You might even just feel sorry for them, sad. You might still be feeling hurt, betrayed. But whatever you feel, rather than going, yeah, I guess I'm just always going to feel like this, you're going, well, oh well. It's a feeling. Either it will pass or it will change. But for now, I'm protecting myself. I'm doing what I can to feel like myself again, to find love for myself again, and to allow the right people to come towards me again. So for that reason, I think that this is a connection that may not have had a proper ending. It's a connection that is stagnant, but it feels like you are trying to find peace. And if peace means eventually allowing space for this person to come towards you with clarity, with some sort of apology for forgiveness, then you would do that. Whereas this person is just flat out avoidant. They're flat out refusing the energy of this connection, and they're flat out refusing to acknowledge your feelings right now, which is why Spirit is saying the energy that you are being given is to focus on love, both of you, finding love that is appropriate by recognizing how you love within yourselves. And this connection has shown you how different you love versus they love. The both of you do value things differently. You do treat people differently, and you do want different things. And that's why the dolphin is here, I feel, because it's saying that there is love around you, but just not here. So let's close with tarot to finish it off with any residual guidance, information, clarity, confirmation. Spirit, when it comes to this connection, very clearly for my group 3s. Is it love or lust? Yeah, okay. You have so much goodness in your heart and in your being. Truly. You're so, you know the term, be the bigger person? Like, you are the bigger person. You have a heart of gold. You have such a beautiful way of being. And as someone who's just tuning in, like, oh my God. I knew that this reading would be difficult. I waited the next day. I was supposed to film it all at once, but lately I've just been feeling like there's always a group that puts me to tears, only because I've regressed my reading style. For a long time, as the audience grew so big, I couldn't be this connected. I had to just disconnect a little bit and just like remove myself a little bit so that I wasn't feeling so much. It takes such a toll as a reader. And if you read, you would know too. I wouldn't be surprised if you do read. But I just realized that I miss caring. Like, that's what makes this successful, in my opinion. Not just in terms of numbers successful, but the readings to me resonate more when we as readers care more about who we're reading for. So it is hard because I knew that you were gonna hit, but it's not about me. I just feel so much of your goodness. And I think that I also feel how you've transmuted the heaviness to be able to come into your goodness again. Like, I'm just floored by this energy, truly. We're trying to close your reading and I'm just stuck on your energy. Like, is it love or lust? You are here saying it was a lesson. It was a lesson in love for me. That's how your energy is showing up in terms of this connection. It was a lesson in love. It taught you more about yourself. It made you a better person. There were challenges. The World card is Saturn energy. There were challenges here. This connection at times felt incredibly challenging. There were a lot of lessons learned. But you feel proud of yourself for what you have learned, for what you have overcome, and for what you've been able to gain from this experience. In your opinion, this connection made you a stronger version, a more developed version of yourself. You don't feel as naive, but you feel even more aware of your strengths and of what you need to do to take care of yourself moving forward. And when you're in this energy, you're automatically attracting people towards you who also possess this energy, this self-awareness, this self-love, this idea of self-importance, not because we're selfish, but because as people who care so much, when you have a healthy relationship with self, you can never give too much to someone else. And that's what you learned here. Is if you always find ways to prioritize self and to love self and to have a healthy relationship with self, you'll never regret what you give to others, because you will have always made decisions in those relationships based on prioritizing yourself first. And that's what this has taught you, and that's where you stand. Let's have a look at them. Where do they stand currently? Is it love or lust for this person? Is it love or lust? Spirit, is it love or lust? Yeah, the King of Cups is where they stand. Can we get some closing advice from Spirit about this connection for my viewers' highest good? Okay. Your closing advice is Judgment and the Five of Cups. With the Six of Cups at the back of the deck, cherish the good memories. This connection arguably came to you at a time where you had a lot of growing up to do. You had a lot of maturing. And I'm not saying you were completely naive when this person came into your life, but I do think that you were a lot more innocent than you are now. And there were good moments. It wasn't all bad. So cherish the good moments, especially if you have children with this person. Cherish the good that's come out of this. And you're allowed to have warm feelings about certain memories, right? I think it's important that as you move forward, you take your more innocent version of yourself with you. It's not fair to grieve who you were as well, because you can still be that person without them. You can still be as sweet and innocent and somewhat naive as you were without them. We can take our inner child with us. We don't have to leave them behind. We don't have to leave who we were behind. We do, from Spirit's perspective, have to still process the ways in which this connection and what happened here continues to affect us. So for you, my viewer, Spirit's advice is that you need to pay attention to the ways in which this connection presented red flags. And as you move forward, as you process and prepare for new beginnings, be very careful about other people's red flags. Be very careful about going through the same thing again, either with this person or with someone else. Use your better judgment. Trust your instincts. Trust your intuition. Trust your experience. Trust the lessons that you've been through. Trust the red flags. Don't let this situation repeat again. Learn from it, transmute it into something that you can use as experience that helps you navigate through future situations with this person or with people who are like them. Because looking at their energy, is it love or lust? Where do they stand now? This person is very disconnected. The King of Cups is an incredibly manipulative energy. In my opinion, it's the one card that you want to watch out for in tarot, because as good people, as empathetic people, as kind-hearted people who choose to see the good in everybody, the King of Cups can eat you up for breakfast and spit you out before morning tea. It is the type of energy that knows how to manipulate that goodness in others, that knows how to take advantage of someone's kindness to make you feel guilty for not doing things that they wanted you to do. And if anybody were to ask them, hey, what happened to group 3? I saw them recently. They look good. Have you heard from them? This person would say, no, I haven't. I hope they're well. I hope they're doing good. It's really sad, actually, how it ended. Yeah, it kind of made me feel really upset. And I'm at a point now where I just need to focus on myself. I just need to be showing up for me, for my children, whatever it is. This is the type of person that is very good at making other people feel sorry for them, making themselves look like the victim, rather than accepting the accountability for their actions and how they've hurt people. And as a parent, it's the type of energy that makes you feel guilty as the child for wanting things that any child should want, but it doesn't align with what they want for themselves as a parent. So it is likely a trait that they were either born with or that they adopted from their family dynamic. And people like this really know how to read emotion. You could argue that in some ways they are empathetic, not because they care, but because they can feel what you're feeling. They can tell when they say something what that does for you and how that moves you emotionally. But I can see now with this King of Cups reverse that this connection ultimately failed to serve what they wanted it to serve. Where they stand now, it wasn't love, it wasn't lust. It was an unsuccessful manipulation venture. And I'm sorry if that's really cruel. I may be, taking it to the extreme here, but I could feel red flags from the beginning. And now that we've ended with the red flag card and the Master of Manipulation card, it just feels like you deserve so much more props on top of everything that I've already said. So I hope what I said in the beginning and throughout this reading has truly empowered you and who you are as a kind, good, empathetic, valuable person. We all need people like you to balance out the harmful, self-serving aspects of humanity. And everybody has it within them to be selfish. I'm not trying to say that good people aren't allowed to be selfish, but to be so self-focused at the expense of other people, to inflict so much pain in order to gain your own rewards over time and in very harmful situations is not going to benefit anybody. So it really feels like you've dodged a bullet. And if you still interact with this person, take this advice on board. Do what you can to protect yourself, to learn from what has happened here so that it doesn't continue to hurt you. And take time to heal. You are grieving. And grief is literally non-linear. Some days will be easier, other days will be re-triggering and just as traumatic as when it first happened. And that's okay. You didn't get all the answers you needed, but you were forced to move forward. So you're allowed to move forward on your terms, and what you're doing is enough. Just keep moving forward and give your props. Pat yourself on the back, recognize your effort, recognize what you've overcome, and praise yourself for pushing forward as you do, fueling the idea that you will continue to get better. I'm going to take your reading into the extended now. We are going to address these questions. I think that would be helpful. I actually want to lead with this one just to help give you more closure. We're going to lead with what is next between you and this person. Then we're going to touch on their thoughts and feelings. I'm worried that that's going to be triggering. So we'll tie that into channeled messages and we'll just get that out of the way. And then we'll close with what are they hiding from you? And this is really just to summarize the reading, the topic and what has come through, and to help you move forward. I'm not going to attempt to re-trigger, but I am going to attempt to clarify and to ultimately empower you with any information that you need. So if that extended reading sounds helpful, the link is in the description below or the pinned comment. That extended reading link will take you to a page where you'll need to find your group. So remember your group 3. Thank you so much, sweet souls, for all of your support right here on YouTube. If this is where we're parting ways, I appreciate you for showing up for me, for letting me be a part of your journey. You have been my longest reading. I was going to say strongest reading. Sure, let's add that word in too. You've been my longest and strongest reading. I feel incredibly privileged to have connected with your energy and to have been humbled by your experiences. And I hope that you feel as wonderful as you look here, because look how powerful you are in these cards. You deserve all the recognition, all the love, and all the success on your journey moving forward. So I'm going to say my little mantra as we part ways. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Bye.